we have something in common. We were discussing backstage. Both of our mothers, French teachers.
Yes.
Yeah. Did that mean? Does that mean you're good at it? Do you know it?
No, I was for a while.
Yeah.
How about you?
Never. And she was my French teacher. Was she your?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I had like a French teacher in school, and then my mom taught me at home. So.
Oh, that's a very passive-aggressive comment on the one at school. Yeah.
I mean, I think I was good for a while, but then I haven't spoken in 20 years. I kind of understand a little bit.
Yeah. I always feel it's dangerous when you tell people your mom's a French teacher because then they just jump to the assumption that you listen to your mother and now know French.
Immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, no, I'm a bad kid. You have two sons.
That's right.
And they were huge fans of the first Quiet Place film.
Yeah, so we went to see it in the cinema. I suppose it's 2 years ago. The first
Yeah,
one
I
came
think
out.
that's about right.
Yeah, the three of us, just the three of us, and I didn't really know that much about the movie. I knew it was good, but I said, "Come on, guys, we'll go." And so we watched it, and I think they had these hoodies. So by the end of it, they were just sat with the hoodies like this, watching it, and it's a magnificent achievement, the first movie. And for me, the thing I loved so much about it was the emotion.
Sure.
It just hit me emotionally,
I wonder, as a dad, I think it will hit me emotionally, like when I'm with my kids at a film that is affecting them that way. Like being scared. I remember as a kid being such an exciting thing in the cinema. Like it must have been so fun to be with your kids and watching how movies affect that.
Yes, it was, and because essentially it's a film about family, as is the sequel, and it's a film that insists on being watched in a cinema with others because it's a collective experience. You feel that anxiety and that jeopardy and that tension with everybody else in the cinema, which is kind of, that's what it was made for, cinema.
Are they then very excited that their dad is in the sequel?
Well, how will I put this? Like, I'm not cool, but I'm not uncool. So
You just found that soft middle of dadhood?
Yeah. I'm like, well, okay.
Because, it doesn't strike... I'm a huge fan of your films. There's not a lot of kid-friendly work. Like, it must be nice for them to finally have something they can see you in.
No, it's only now that some stuff is not highly inappropriate.
Yeah. Because I've never heard someone say, oh, you have kids, you gotta watch Peaky Blinders. You gotta...
No.
Yeah.
No.
That must be a weird show to be a part of, because this started as a very small production, Peaky Blinders. This was not one of those Game of Thrones type shows that was aiming for the stars. It just sort of built a very large international following.
Yeah.
Has it been a trip to be a part of something like that?
Oh, for sure. It started as a little show on BBC Two in the UK. And then because it had no advertising budget, and the BBC don't generally advertise. So it was word of mouth, just word of mouth. And gradually, we've been doing it now. We've been shooting it for 8 years or something, and we're about to start series 6. So, yeah, it's crazy how many people across the world and how obsessive the fan and loyal the fans are.
And it's
loyal.
Loyal. Yeah. And I hope this comment will not run afoul of your fan base, but the show had to be very good for people to get over how bad a title Peaky Blinders is. You thought this as well.
I mean, I was confused.
Yeah, it's a very confusing... Peaky Blinders seems like the name of a cartoon horse. And if you haven't seen the show, it's not that.
No. There's some horses in it.
Yeah, there are some horses.
Yeah.
One of the many great things about Peaky Blinders is the haircuts.
Yeah.
And that's, that you obviously have to then have that haircut. Like, that's not...
Yeah, that's coming in about 10 days time.
Yeah. No wonder your kids are, have issues. I'm just saying, they can't think you're that cool when you're, the one dad walking around with your sides.
Well, yeah, that's why they wear hoodies, and I wear hoodies.
They try to get you to wear a hoodie?
The mad thing about that haircut as well, it was designed, I think, as a sort of a protection against lice and infestation. And now all the hipsters are wearing it.
Yeah. Does that mean lice is making a comeback? It might be. It would be the least of our problems right now.
That's true.
You were in the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight films, playing the Scarecrow. I did not realize you auditioned to play Batman.
Well, yes, amongst many other actors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it? Did you have a sense? I mean, obviously, Christopher Nolan still was a fan of yours, still doing the films. Did you at any point think like, "Oh, I'm a perfect fit for this," or did you, when you were in the Batman suit, did you think what were your thoughts? Because I imagine that's intimidating.
No, I never for a moment thought I was, material. I think I was. It was obvious that Christian Bale was going to be Batman. At that time, it was clear, and he's such a magnificent Batman and Bruce Wayne. But I did get to I think it was the Val Kilmer suit I tried on, which they had to adjust slightly. But it's a weird thing. You put it on, you put the cowl on, and the voice drops. It drops a couple of octaves. So that's it. You can't do the Batman voice without doing the Batman.
Yeah. That's why I couldn't do it, because I'd be like, I'm Batman. They'd be like, no, you're not. Get out of here. You're just a guy in a suit. Yeah. Hey, congrats on the film. Congrats on Peaky Blinders. That's so exciting that we have another season coming. Thanks so much for being here. That's Cillian Murphy, everybody.